Alright, I'm here to review Scream 3 and Scream 4 in one video. So I don't have to do separate. It take too long. I'm gonna go like straight into the spoilers. So the killer in Scream 3 is a guy named Roman Bridge. He's the half brother of Sidney. See, back in the day, Sidney's mother was in Hollywood. She was living in Hollywood for about 2 years that nobody ever knew. And the reason of the original 3 events, the first 3, is that Roman, finally tracked her down, and she said, "I don't know you. I only have one daughter." He said, "Okay." So he started stalking her and recording her. And then when she found out that she slept with Billy Loomis's father, he showed Billy the footage, which got him mad. And that which made Roman didn't show Billy's mother the footage, but after she found out, she left, which made Billy pissed, and which made the events of the first movie. After they killed Sidney's mother, they framed it on cotton. The killers in the second movie is in Scream 4, Jill and Charlie. Jill Roberts is her cousin. Now, what gets me is that we never heard of Jill. Man, I guess that since Sidney was in high school in Scream 1, she had to been like at ages 5 through 15. 5 through 10. So she must have been young. So I could guess why they didn't mention her. Anyway, and Charlie, he's the Randy, as he's put it, because in the original trilogy, Randy never got the girl, because he had a crush on Sidney. They were still best friends. Yeah, and Jill's motive. Well, in Scream 3, the reveal of Roman was kind of weak, but I liked his motive. And Jill's motive was, I liked the motive too. Her motive too, saying, you know what it's like to live up. All she heard was Sidney this, Sidney that. So she wanted to become Sidney. She didn't want to kill her. It was all about becoming her. And now going on to the opening scenes, I would say Scream 3 is the weakest of all 4 movies. It was decent, but that's about it. Scream 4, it was just as good as Scream 2. So it's the way I will order the opening scenes for all 4 movies is the first one, Scream 1, Scream 2 / Scream 4, just as good. They both are just as good. So they're both number 2. Then number 3 is Scream 3. I would say, now moving on to side characters, Scream 3 was kind of weak on who could have been the killer. There was only 2 people I could have felt who it was, and that was Roman and the black guy. But I knew pretty obvious they wasn't gonna make the black guy the killer. Just like in Scream 3, just like in Scream 2, the black camera guy. I don't get why he didn't appear in this movie. In Scream 3, but just like most black guys saying, "I'm out of here," but they eventually came back. Yeah, the black guy just dies the same way like the girl did in Scream 2. See, the killer throws her off. Damn, I'm trying to think of the word. A balcony. There it is, the balcony. And then some other side characters. There was this girl named Gail who's playing Gail, her name was Jennifer. Her name was Jennifer. She was playing Gale in the Stab movies. And in the second and fourth movies, in the Scream 4 is Stab. It's now in 7 movies. It's up to 7 movies. The original 3 is based on Sydney's life, but at the 4th one to the 7th one, she threatened to sue, so they started to make her own. They started to make her own movies. And the 5th one, it's time travel, which is stupid. I would say that my favorite character, besides the main characters, Sydney, Gale, Dewey, my favorite character in the 3rd one is the black guy. He was quite funny. And my favorite in this one is in Scream 4, Anthony Anderson. You can see him because he was in the Scary Movie movies. Yeah, he was funny. He was talking to this other cop, talking about that cops don't last that long in movies. And he says, "What about Bruce Willis?" And so the rookie gets killed, and then Anthony Anderson gets stabbed right in the forehead, right into the brain. And he starts walking out of the car, and he says, right before he dies, he says, "Fuck Bruce Willis," saying that cops do live. That was quite funny. Also in Scream 3, there was this character called Detective Kincaid. He didn't return in the 4th one. I mean, yes, Scream 4 might have taken 10 years after Scream 3, even though the movie came out in 2011. I guess the story took place in 2010. Anyway, yeah, he didn't return. But in the 4th one, the 3rd one, I actually quite liked him. Not as much as he should have returned, but we could at least got a mention or something. There was this girl who played Sydney in the 3rd one. In the 1st and 2nd one, Tori Spelling played her, but she didn't want to return. So they got a new girl. She looked alright, but she died. How'd she die? I think she got stabbed, pun intended. Yeah, she died, I think. I don't know, I forgot. I saw Scream 3 2 days ago, but I decided not to review it because I wanted to review it with Scream 4. Anyway, and also Scream 4, because I'm jumping back and forth. Sydney left Woodsboro. No. Yeah, not just like Scream 2 and 3, she left Woodsboro. But now she was out of Woodsboro for 20 years, I guess. 15. And she's written her own book called Art of Darkness. Also, you see that her father, Sydney's father, wasn't in this movie. That's because Sydney's father died between the events of Scream 3 and Scream 4, so he died off screen. Also, Sydney's Dewey and Gale are now married because between the events of Scream 2 and 3, Sydney, they dated for a short period of time. And then at the end of Scream 3, Dewey asked Gale to marry her, so they've been married for 10 years by the time Scream 4 happens. And also, in Scream 4, you can see that Gale and what's her name? Sydney. Also, between the events of Scream 2 and 3, Sydney and Gale actually started to become friends a little bit. And in Scream 3, you actually see them become friends. They still have a little beef, but by the time Scream 4 happens, they're really good friends now. And I would say the tone from Scream 4 is very different from the first three. Very good tone. And Scream 4 doesn't really feel like a sequel. It's actually, it felt like a remake. Because that's pretty much what they talk about in Scream 4. Is what's the remake rules? And I'd say it was done very well. I'm gonna rank my order of the series. Scream 1, Scream 4, Scream 2, and then Scream 3. Yeah, that's the end of the Scream series. And that's it. Look forward to what I have come next. And like and subscribe. And you have failed the test.